Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. Today, in the current standard that we dwell in, filled with mono blue tempo, mono red aggro, mono white weenies, and the occasional mono green stompy, we are going to be edgy, and we're going to play mono black artifact lich thing. I don't know how to label this deck, but I'm going to share a mono black list because I know a lot of you have been wanting me to play some mono black and showcase it off on the channel for quite some time. It's one of the most requested archetypes actually for my videos, and here I am with a best of one designed list. Even though I do have a sideboard, I'm going to go ahead and preface this video by saying that this deck should be played in best of one because in a best of three environment with the current standard metagame that we face, it is rather vulnerable to a very common card, and that is Hostage Taker. Hostage Taker kind of ruins this strategy, and I'll explain so in a little bit. And also, white matchups can be rough if white decks, they have Conclave Tribunal as well, like removal that can target any permanent. And like I said, I'm going to explain myself really soon. Why hasn't mono black been a thing lately? Why is it the forgotten mono, focused deck? Well, because it quite simply sucks. It's really lacking any sort of strong win condition. It doesn't really have the greatest curve, and it has good cards, but they kind of feel a little bit shallow without, some blue splash here or some Esper there. It kind of is lacking in that sense. Black is a very good color. It's my own personal favorite color, black like my soul, and that's why I love Demir so much, because blue is my second favorite color, right? So I'm a big fan of mono black just as anybody. The problem is it's lacking in that sense. It doesn't have the powerful win con that it had in the Kaladesh Amonkhet era, which was the Torment of Hailfire, which was kind of like Black's own Banefire in a way, even though it could be countered. It capitalized on mono black's ability to ramp quite efficiently through the likes of Cabal Stronghold and some treasure map ramping as well, to kill the opponent with that spell. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, you can Google Torment of Hailfire. It's from Amonkhet, and yeah, it was mono black's toy, and we no longer have it. Mono black players around the world cry every time. So now this sort of archetype is just not as prevalent, because it's not like mono strategies really have anything interesting going on for them, in my opinion, for the ones that we're seeing in the current standard metagame, because mono green Stompy is just playing big dudes on curve, and it's not even that prevalent. Mono red aggro is just a very fast deck that deals direct damage. Mono blue tempo is perhaps the more intricate of them, and it's kind of a boring deck as well, if you look at it honestly. And mono white weenies is just play a bunch of little dudes and kind of convoke them and just overwhelm your opponent with also speed. Kind of plays very similarly to mono red aggro, but instead of focusing so much on direct damage, it focuses on spreading a swarm and overwhelming the opponent that way, right? They're not really the most complex strategies, and mono black lacks the speed, and it also kind of lacks the tempo, which is the same thing really, and it lacks the on curve power and the late game burst, because with Torment of Hellfire, it did have that over the other mono-focused strategies, right? It had that Torment of Hellfire to build into, but not so much anymore. So why are we playing mono black? Because I do believe that it's actually quite the viable deck in best of one, because we're building around Phylactery Lich. Phylactery Lich is a 3-mana 5/5 indestructible zombie. So that alone, if you stop reading at this point, you're like, holy shit, this card is OP. And it kind of is. But, of course, we're brought back down to reality, as it does come with a requirement. As you can see there, when it enters the battlefield, you put a Phylactery counter on an artifact you control. When you control no permanents with Phylactery counters on them, you have to sacrifice Phylactery Lich. So it's kind of thematically speaking, it's a very cool card, because you can see he's holding something, like a staff or something, and it's very, very important to the zombie, so that if he loses that staff, he just dies. So that's pretty much how the card works. We have a total of 10 early game, either 1 or 2 mana cost artifacts, so that we can play these before turn 3 hits, so that we can actually play Phylactery Lich on curve, because that is when he's the most OP. When you play him at 3 mana, you have a 5/5 with Indestructible, right? We try to capitalize on that and build some sort of mid-range mono black list with a potential burst in the late game as well through the likes of Josu Vess, as Josu Vess has the kicker, which means that if you pay 10 mana in total to cast Josu Vess instead of, the 4, you get on top of the 4/5 with Menace an army of 8 2/2 black zombie knight tokens with Menace themselves as well. So we try to, or we can officially ramp and enable this kicker with the likes of Cabo Stronghold and a bit of a help from Treasure Map as well, potentially. So we don't have much of an issue ramping and playing Josu Vess, right? The idea is to kind of like, what do we do in between? So we play, like I said, a bit of a mid-range strategy. In certain matchups, like Control, for example, Esper Control, if they don't have Frost's Contempt, or Eldest Reborn, they can't really handle Phylactery Lich, which is hilarious, until the sideboard hits and they slap in the Hostage Takers, which is why I'm saying that best of one is the environment for this deck, because Hostage Taker is nutty, Sultai midrange is much more common or prevalent in best of 3, and Hostage Taker, why is it so nutty? Because Hostage Taker can steal the treasure map, or any sort of artifact that we put a counter on, and not only can they take away our artifact, but they also kill our Lich in the process. So Hostage Taker is absolutely devastating against this deck, and it's just a card that we hopefully do not run into. That's our best approach at it. If we are not playing against Hostage Taker, we got a pretty fine strategy that also happens to be really efficient against mono red aggro. Why? Because we're playing 4 Fountain of Renewal, which means we gain 1 health every turn. That's very good. Health is good, life is good, not dying is great, and that is what this helps us accomplish. Whereas that matchup, Duress, which is very good against control builds, is also quite efficient against mono red, as it trades for a 3 damage spell, or occasionally you can, take down their Experimental Frenzy and shut down their fuel. We have 2 Moment of Cravings alongside 4 cast downs, prime black removal, 2 copies of Card of the Carnarium, 2 Ritual of Suits, which destroys all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. Because our Phylactery Lich is indestructible, it doesn't die to Ritual of Suit. So, a bit of an extra flavor, I guess, to the card here in this build. And then, standard stuff like 2 Frost's Contempt, 2 Ravenous Chupacabras, good removal cards. And Karn for fuel, and also synergy with our pseudo artifact sort of strategy, as we can go for the -2, and if we have treasure maps and Fountain of Renewals, and we got treasures on the board, then we can have a very powerful construct being generated by Karn here. And that is the deck list right there. Like I said, I do have a sideboard, but I would not really recommend this deck for best of 3 because of that vulnerability to the Hostage Taker. It really sucks that your entire strategy gets disrupted so heavily by 1 card, but it is a very prevalent card in the best of 3 metagame, and you have to respect that, and you have to be realistic. But if you want to play this in best of 1, I do think you can be very successful with it, as it really does match up well against mono red. Like, I think I only lost like 1 game against mono red because I got a bit mana screwed. I think I also misplayed though with the Azor's Gateway, because specific scenario, but basically I exiled the land when I should not have exiled the land, which would have enabled me to go for a Ritual of Suit. So I think the 1 game that I lost against mono red was actually due to me misplaying, and every single other matchup that I had against that deck I won. So because they can't really handle Phylactery Lich, they don't have a Braid anymore, which is a 2 mana, 3 damage spell that they had with Amonkhet that destroyed artifacts too. They no longer have that toy, so they can't really handle your artifacts. They can't deal with this, and thus they can't really do anything to Phylactery Lich, which is pretty funny, because you're gaining life on top of having a 5/5 indestructible that they just cannot kill. So it's a pretty hilarious matchup, and considering mono red is by far the most popular deck in best of 1, it's a pretty cool choice to play in that environment if you wish to do so. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to showcase off the gameplay that I had in yesterday's stream. I had quite a few matches with it, and quite a bit of fun. And yeah, it just felt nice to play mono black again. So let me know if you want to see more mono black content. I can try to build different decks. I'm not really a big fan of the Shade, but maybe one day I'll just go crazy and try to build like a Rat Colony deck or some shit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have us all day. Stay tuned for daily MTG content. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with more. This is a decent hand. And we do have Duress, but we're going to lead off with the Fountain of Renewal. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me a land. Oh, fuck. Take the counter out of him. Yes. Yes! Okay. Out of here. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Nice. We won a game. Not bad. Forgot what a win feels like. I mean, if we run into mono red aggro, like, we're also pretty good. And against mono white aggro, as long as we don't get mana screwed. Come on, man. This deck is not that bad. Okay, so this unfortunately requires a mulligan, even though we have the Lich alongside an artifact. And this will have to do. I mean, I'll take double duress. Why not? Maybe he's not the matchup for it. All right. Okay, the earlier we get this Fountain of Renewal, the better. Next turn we can double duress. Alright. Maybe we could top deck a Cry of the Carnarium. Ah. I mean, we're dead. Like, that's unfortunate. If he draws into a land, we're dead. If he has a source of damage, we're dead. So there's just no scenario that I can think of in which we're not just dead. Like, I don't know what he could have. Yeah, that wouldn't kill us. That sucks. We just kind of got mana screwed though. Like, that's just what it came down to, because we had the fountains and we had the board wipe, but we just didn't draw the land we needed. Because if we're able to wipe that board, then like that's all we need to like stabilize again with the fountain. Okay, this hand is a keeper. I would love to face mono red aggro again. Yeah, I probably should have Azored that instead of the land. That's true. So it seems we're facing mono red aggro, which is, like I said, the kind of matchup that we want, especially when we have a turn 1 Fountain of Renewal. Just glorious. We got the Cry of the Carnarium, we got the Lich, we got everything. Shock? Please! Bitch, please. Oh, GG. Try to kill me now, motherfucker. Try to kill me now. That's adorable. You hear that? Adorable! I should have tapped there. Oh, well, whatever. I can preserve the Cry of the Carnarium for later. I can just play Joe Suves here. This is a good win con, but... out of my sight. I did pitch a land. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot about that. It's my fault. It's my fault for discarding that instead of the Joe Suves. I didn't know I was gonna draw into a Ritual of Suit, but I should have taken that into account. So you know, I can't complain too much about that one. I mean, yes, please. Mono red, please. I just need one more land, and this is just golden. The season was reset, Mr. Atomicus. If we top deck I'm not gonna tap, because if I top deck a... oh well. I'm gonna draw here. I'm gonna try to play treasure map to bait out the counters. And now I'm gonna play Lich. I'm gonna let that hit me because I need to have my Ross's Contempt enabled. I'm in a moment of craving that though now. Well, that sucks. I mean, he's gonna run out of those, and I still have 2 more Lich in the deck.
Choice.
You have to discard 3 cards.
Decisive action is needed.
Lich can trade with this.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
Alright, Karn, when you can stop drawing me lands, I would appreciate that. Do I sacrifice you? What are you doing? Read the card. Come on, man. You want to get to diamond? That's not the way to do it. There you are, Lich. Took you a while. I got bad news though. We may not need you, Lich. Oh boy. Forfeit incoming in 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm happy I get to cast.
This will aid us.
Okay, there it is. Well, good luck with this. Hey, I get to cast both liches. I'll take it. There we go. Oh my god. I would have paid to see the look on his face when he went for the cheeky mortify. It's like, I gotcha. The earlier we played the Fountain of Renewal, the better. See, because this deck actually does enjoy, like, a mono-red matchup. But now, how do you kill me, brother? How do you kill me? When I got all this beautiful endless supply of goods. Yeah, this deck is definitely way better for best of one because we're gonna encounter more of these mono red decks, and he ain't got shit. He ain't got shit. He ain't got shit.
Evil must not be alone.
Yeah, let's keep that there, shall we?
Awaken.
Bitch! You're not reaching diamond anytime soon, brother.